I think I've decided I want New Rush Pro.
Oh, really? I saw you were talking about possibly. But I actually don't mind it. It makes the game a little more challenging.
It's coming, guys. Everything's coming. We're figuring this all out. Yes, I know there was some talking over the sizzle, but hey, we're learning. Welcome. And what makes me so happy is there are already 24 people here. The fact that this is week three of streaming on YouTube, and I was worried about this. I was really worried that Twitch, I understand a lot of viewers show up in Twitch because they just go to Pinball and they're like, oh, who's here? And they just happen to click on it. And the fact that there are people that are specifically setting aside time to be here and to be here at the start is incredible. So thank you so much. Thank you for so much that's here. Chat should be good. Everything should be good. Let us know if audio is odd or not, but I think we're all good. So Vintage Chad, Conti, Derek, everybody, yes. Finshiro, Michael, appreciate you guys. And then Pin Mike, by the way, he was here like 15 minutes ago. So I really appreciate you guys. My name is Joel. This is the Flip N Out stream. I stream now on YouTube every Wednesday from 10 to midnight. So come join in on the chat. And the goal is to do these Flipping Out with friends, these kind of chatting shows every other week. And then the weeks we're not doing the chatting shows, we're going to be playing pinball. So I love it. So speaking of love, I love these guys. I have three amazing guys that are with me tonight to chat it up. So we're going to do our normal introductions. Wow. The names are not right. Let me fix the names, but we can definitely make this. Mike fell where he needed to. But no, we are looking good. So let's just go around here. JR, I'm new, so bring your A game. Hey, buckle up, man. Set expectations low and you'll love it. Yeah, so we're going to go around. So George Fisher, not George, but actually Craig Bobby, the one, the only. Who are you? What do you do? And what was the last game of pinball you played?
Who's your daddy? And what does he do?
What is happening, everybody? Yes, my name is Craig Bobby. Thank you, Joel, for adjusting that. And I do the Top Stories news segment, of course, on the Pinball Show with Zach Meny, who is here with us today, and the one and only Dennis Creasel as well, who has been on from time to time. And yes, that is part of the Pinball Network. We discuss the news, we discuss market trends, game reviews. Zach brings his stern production information. Just so many good things that you're not going to hear anywhere else. You know, as you can see, I'm wearing
yes
the
triple drain shirt, buddy.
I'm wearing what we like to call the second best podcast on TPN.
Yeah.
But we like to support the up-and-comers, so that's why we do that.
The up-and-comers. Yeah.
AAA team, right?
Hey,
right.
Let's go. Hey, I appreciate that, Craig. Thank you so much, man. What is your hat? That brand of hat, I know they all have one word. What is the gorilla? What is the word?
This one
boss.
says boss.
Nice.
Boss.
Nice. Nice.
So the last game of pinball I played was actually today, and I was over at the Player One distributors, just sort of seeing what they have in stock. Spoiler alert, nothing. So
No Led Zeppelins?
Yeah.
They certainly don't have any rushes, that's for sure.
Still no rushes.
No, still no rushes. Yeah, and so I did play their Pro that they have on display there, and as I was saying to Mike as we were coming in, it's such a fun game, and every time I play it, I'm like, damn it, I need to. Every time I play it, I want not to like it. I want to be disappointed with it. I do not want to buy this game, but it is fantastic, and I left today again thinking. I asked him after before I played it, I said, "You sure you don't have any premiums?" He goes, "Yeah, don't have any." I played the Pro, and I'm like, "You don't have any pros? Because I might buy the Pro right now if you had one." But no, didn't have one.
Jeez.
Now Zach Meny here, he's got pros. He's got a Pro.
Pros for days, people.
He's got everything you could want, but you're in Canada. So just drive on down, man. Just drive on down.
Exactly.
That's our life story. We don't get much up here.
Yeah.
We we gotta suffer through the high paid, high asking prices of used pinball machines up here, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and the business too, as he reminded me, what is really in the big redemption games that they bring in. So they've got like tons
Oh,
of
yeah.
redemption games in their warehouse for the Dave and Buster's of the world and the Rec Rooms of the world, and you know, they're 30K, 40K, there they sit. You
Yeah.
know, but
Nothing.
no Rush Pinball.
Well, I'm sorry, Craig. You'll get it. Hopefully, when they get it in stock, you'll be in the right mood. You'll be ready to go. But your head is covering Godzilla, right? You didn't get rid of it. Okay. Whew.
I did not. No.
Oof.
There they sit, the
Okay.
two side by side. They're a little nervous these days because someone feels like they might have to leave. But I'm trying to calm everyone down.
Yeah.
You know.
Man, chat, love it, guys. Love it. Love chat. I love how many people are here. I love it. You guys don't realize this was a discussion between Zach and I. Like, what about YouTube? Do we think? I mean, we're at 53 viewers, 10 minutes in. I love it. Thank you
We
guys.
love
Thank you
YouTube.
guys for
I
being
can't believe
here.
we have 53 friends that are actually on here right now.
I know,
This is
right?
unbelievable.
Yeah, they're all here for Mike, but we'll get to him. No.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Way to go,
Right?
Mike.
Right?
Yes.
Come on.
So, Craig, thank you, man. Thank you for being here. But yes,
Thanks for having me, Joel. It's always great to be here.
absolutely. And next up, newcomer to the scene. Yeah. No, Zach Mini, the one, the only. And I do think there is an amazing question here in chat. Fight Cave did ask, how's the back? How is the back feeling, Zach?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what, Joel and friends, the back is well, actually.
Mm.
Back feels good as long as I don't do anything at all.
Nothing. Yeah.
It's really fantastic.
Balla Rex.
Just breathe.
Really fantastic.
Balla
Yeah,
Rex,
so the
hello
back is
from
good.
Australia. I love it. I love the overseas people that are here. Thank you for being here. But yeah, Zach, who are you? What are you doing? What was the last game of pinball you played?
Oh, geez. My name is Zach. I own and operate Flip N Out Pinball. I do a video series called Straight Down the Middle here on YouTube.
Yeah.
Do a podcast with my buddies Dennis Kriesel and Craig Bobby called The Pinball Show, and that's exclusively on the Pinball Network.
Bing.
What else do I do? I think it's about it. And soon I'm gonna load a big ass truck full of
Don't load it.
premium Stearns, and I'm gonna drive it right over the border into Canada. And we're gonna camp out in the parking lot, and we're gonna sell.
Yeah.
What we're gonna do?
Do you? I love that idea.
Please.
Just you don't load it. You personally don't load it and screw up your back again. Yeah. But Jeff Teolis is in chat. Pinball profile. Why the switch to YouTube? Just
What's up,
trying
Teolis?
something new. You know, Twitch is awesome. I'm a big fan of Twitch. But believe it or not, I just feel like there's a new audience that we're going to try to tap into here on YouTube. So we're just to be honest, completely it's an experiment. It's an experiment, and I will tell you, so far so great. So thank you for everybody that's
We
here.
try to set new standards, don't we, Joel?
That's it. Yeah. And I see Josh Roop too with Loser Kid. So there's awesome,
there it is.
awesome people being here. Zach, what was the last game of pinball you played?
Oh, okay. Last game of pinball I played was Congo.
Congo.
Ooh.
Mike has a Congo.
Diamonds.
Mike has a Congo. When did you get that? And what are your yeah.
Congo. I received that on a trade from a guy up in India, actually, Joel.
Okay.
And I don't know if it'll stay. I want it to stay, but still looking for that minty one.
Oh, it's gotta be.
Still looking for that mint. It's nice. But
You are selling some of your minty games. You've been searching, and you've grown quite a collection. And I've been seeing you've been selling some stuff.
Iron Maiden LE just pending sale. Sold
Ooh,
tonight. That was
okay.
from my personal collection.
Are we downsizing? What's causing
I'm
the
just buying
purge?
too much shit. I mean, I got a little game by Keith Elwin, the GOAT.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe the greatest of all time pinball machine ever made. That's James Bond's 60th anniversary. Maybe. Who knows?
We don't.
Really
We have
not.
no idea. We have no
I
idea.
don't know. If Dennis Kriesel loves it, I mean, what's not to love? So I've got that coming in. I still have to unbox Fathom Revisited. So I got that from Haggis. I've got about slipped out what I have coming, and it hadn't been announced yet.
Oh,
I got another thing planned coming within the next couple months. And two things. So, yeah, there's just games coming in. It's something I'm running out of space. Something's got to leave. So Maiden Ellie is on its way out. And then I'm buying shit like Dolly Parton. And I don't want to part with my girl, Dolly.
Yeah.
So yeah, just stuff's coming in and I got to get rid of stuff.
Yeah. Well,
Corvette. The old Corvette's leaving.
I know you were on the hunt for a real nice Corvette. You get it, and then fast forward a few months, and here you go.
Took 4 years to find that Corvette. 4 years.
And you kept it 4 months. Yep.
Oh, I've had that.
Sounds like me.
I've had it for over a year. Had it over a year.
Well, I'm excited. Preview. There's next Saturday. Next Saturday is the Pinball Awards, and it's going to be hosted at the mini barn, the pinball barn or whatever. And I can't wait. I can't wait.
I can't
wait
a little more time
to play all your stuff. I can't wait to. Yes, but we're really excited. It's going to be for the few of us that'll be there to film it and we're there for the live presentation. I think it's going to be a real fun time. So
DJ, you're right. I've got a Scooby coming in too, probably toward the end of the month, beginning of next month. So I've got to find room for that too. Shout out Spooky Pinball.
Yeah, should be great. Should be awesome. Well, thank you, Zach. Thanks for being here tonight. I'll be curious where, from having a distributor here, sharing your opinion on some of these things, will be great. But, yeah. And Mike, who are you, man? What's up tonight?
I'm Mike.
Oh,
how you doing?
Yeah.
I stream on Pinballers on Twitch and Facebook. Hopefully YouTube soon. We're going to work that out. But the last game, I've been playing a lot of pinball. Actually, I've been playing more pinball this week than I probably have over the last few months. And that's because I am preparing for the provincial championships this weekend for the IFPA.
Good luck.
So, this weekend, Carter and I are both in the Open, and Lisa and my daughter Paige are in the women's. So we're traveling up to Toronto, and we are going to compete for the provincial championship.
So, wait, your daughter plays? I don't think I've seen her ever.
Yeah.
Why doesn't she stream?
She doesn't like to be on camera and whatnot, but she does. She goes to tournaments with us, and she's been to Pinfest and played there, and definitely. She just does not like to be on stream. I've asked her several times, and she's just not into it. Yeah. So, we've been playing a lot of pinball, getting prepared for that. The last game I played, Black Knight Sword of Rage.
Ooh,
and I love being insulted by Steve Ritchie. It's really it's it's an ass kicker, and that's one of the reasons why I like it. I've always said that it's such a difficult game to play that it really gets my adrenaline going, and it physically affects me when I have a session on that game. Especially the Pro. I like the Pro better than the Premium. I know that some people will say it has to have the upper play field just like the other two versions, but I find this version plays so fast, so much flow. It's quick, it's nasty, and if you're good enough, Steve Ritchie will be nice to you. So he will compliment you after a while. Yeah,
it's just a challenge. You just got to get to that point.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Mike, for being here. Looking forward to it. So yes, we have two Canadians, Craig and Mike, representing America's Hat, and we have Zach and I from Indiana. So, I don't, should be great.
I got to give a shout out to Nick. Nick, congratulations, Nick. He just purchased a Guardians of the Galaxy from Flip N Out Pinball, and he was wanting to know if I could throw in an Insider Connect. I tell you what, Nick, yes, we can. It's not because we're so generous and we're coin givers here. But it's because it's installed at the factory.
It's in the game, yeah.
So it's already in there.
It's already in there now. Oh, yeah.
You know what? Damn it. If it wasn't, I would have. I promise you that.
Yeah. You should have told him, no, it doesn't come with it. Sorry.
What is it?
Thanks for the support, Nick. I appreciate it.
So all new games since Godzilla hit the line. Every single game they made new has Insider Connected built in. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, that's a good segue because I want to talk about the game I've played. But yes, my name is Joel. This is the Flip N Out channel or the Flip N Out stream every Wednesday, and then I do the Triple Drain Pinball podcast, which Travis and I did a mini episode. We actually recorded one just a few hours ago, so hopefully I can get that edited up, and hopefully that'll come out within the next few days. But no, life is good. The last game of pinball I played, believe it or not, was in this house, and it was Jurassic Park Premium. So the question is, Jurassic Park, how did I get a Jurassic Park? Well, TNA's gone. TNA's gone.
I
It's
didn't
not
give you no
sold.
Jurassic Park.
No, it is. TNA is not sold. TNA is not sold. It is. I did a temporary trade with a buddy of mine here in town, Ryan, and this is why. So I'm looking ahead, right? I'm looking ahead. I know Zach has been incredibly nice. He's been incredibly nice letting me stream games. I currently have Bond, and I've just been looking at this list, and I'm like, Bond, have it right now, playing it. Rush, played it. It was great. Like, it's a great game. I know it well. Godzilla, I own it. That was one game that he let me borrow. Godzilla Pro, loved it. Was like, all right, I'm going in. I'm going in on the premium. No regrets. It's awesome. Mando, he's let me borrow. Had a great time. Avengers, he let me borrow. First Keith Elwin game that I've had in the house. Shoots amazing. The code is incredible, but you got to be ready. You got to be mentally prepared. I mean, Craig knows. Craig knows probably more than anybody else here. But you got to be ready to play that game. Elvira, I have not borrowed, but I know it's a fun game. Deadpool, I own. Iron Maiden, I have not. Jurassic Park, I haven't. And Star Wars, I haven't. So here I am thinking, I'm like, these are games that are available. These are games that if I really, I know, thank you, Zach, but I've been very grateful and fortunate. But it's like, what is available now? What could I buy if I wanted to buy one? And there's a lot of people that argue that Jurassic Park is better than Godzilla. There are some people that truly feel that way.
A lot of people, huh?
I think it's a decent amount of people are, when you say what's your favorite Elwin, they go back and forth between Jurassic Park and Godzilla. So I know how much I've enjoyed Godzilla. So I was like, all right, I got to give this a shot. I need to spend more time with Jurassic Park. I've only had it 3 days. So my review is a very short-lived review. But I will tell you, Keith Elwin knows what he's doing, because without knowing the game at all, you only have to shoot it once or twice to realize how great a Keith Elwin game shoots. Like, I had that feeling immediately with Godzilla. I had that feeling with Avengers, and I had that feeling immediately with Jurassic Park. I get it. Those shots are awesome. Like, they just feel good. They feel good. So layout is awesome. Code, though, I'm not connecting to the code as much as I was expecting. And that's what surprises me. Because, Zach, I know you love Jurassic Park.
I do love Jurassic
George
Park.
Fisher loves Jurassic Park. He likes Jurassic Park, I know, more than Godzilla. So am I missing something? Mike, do you still own Jurassic Park?
No, but I've had 2 of them. And if I could own all 4 Keith Elwin games, I would. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, I'm limited on space. I also like to have a variety of games from different designers. I don't want to be kind of, pigeonholed into one specific designer. But I think that Jurassic Park is probably one of the best rule sets that Keith Elwin has done. For me, the only drawback on the game is nothing to do with the gameplay or the code itself. It's actually just the art package and the video assets and all that stuff. I wasn't really a fan of that, which is really one of the main reasons why I don't still have it. I mean, I find the code is really intuitive. You've only had it for a few days. You'll get there for sure.
I watched a tutorial on it. I watched Carl stream it a little bit. I get it. I get what you're saying about the art. I get it. I get what you're saying about the art. But it sounds weird, but I feel like it's very linear, and it's kind of and maybe this is where I need some help. But it's just like, okay, what is there to do? It's like, what is there to do? It's like you do a paddock. Path,
yes,
right? But what are you? You're picking a paddock. That's your only option.
But when you're but in picking the paddock, you're also deciding on what perk you're going to get with that paddock, right?
Okay, so perks I haven't done. I don't know those
so
at all.
If you look on the screen when you're picking a dinosaur, when you're at a specific dinosaur, there'll be I forget where it is on the screen.
It's on the left.
The screen it will tell you what perk you're getting if you finish that paddock. So you're wanting to decide what perks you want to work with. Maybe there's you like to do rescues. There's ones that give you bonus points for rescues, that sort of stuff. There's one that gives you extra time on your playfield multipliers and whatnot. So you're choosing your own adventures. You're going through there, but at the same time, as you're doing the paddocks, you're also opening up other areas of the game. You need to finish paddocks to open your control room, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Like you won't
Okay.
access a control room until you either, finish a paddock or do other things as well. Then you also have the truck, hit that a few times. There's modes and multi-balls in
Yep.
there as well. So there's different paths you can take in the game, but again, you'll start feeling
So-
that once you play it more.
I think my issue is that the paddocks are the same essentially. They just get harder, but it's very much like when you start a paddock, you are going to hit X number of rescue shots. Then you have to hit the yellow targets, and then you either have to hit the helicopter or you have to hit the yellow shot that's going to be to pick up the dinosaur, or you have to hit the helicopter pad and then the yellow shot to pick up the dinosaur. But that is essentially every paddock. Now I understand.
Sort of. But I mean, each dinosaur behaves differently depending on the color
Correct.
of the dinosaur in the paddock, right? Like they move different directions. Some of
Yes.
them skip and go right to your rescues to take them away. Some of them will go to the left. Some of them will go to the right. And then the further you get in, the more difficult it becomes to hit the trap
Correct.
targets, stuff like that. So,
But that's what I think is funny is because I traded this game for TNA. It's Tim Trade, and I love TNA, but TNA is super linear. And what are you doing? You're hitting a bunch of shots and you're overheating reactors. And what's different between each reactor? Nothing. You're doing the same thing. It just gets harder. So that's what I'm thinking with Jurassic Park. I was like, I feel like you're doing the same thing. It's just getting harder every single step of the way. While I'm trying to compare that to like Godzilla, and Godzilla, the modes are so different that it's like, what am I feeling? Do I want to rip spinners, or do I want to shoot a bunch of ramps? Do I want to snipe some shots? It's like gives me options that way. While the paddock is much more, you're saying you're just looking at perks. It's not a drastically different. I should say drastically different. That was bad. That was real bad. I know. Thank you, Zach.
Ladies and gentlemen, Joel Engelberth there. I was fucking falling asleep there for a second. Joel Engelberth comes out with that just zinger.
But that's
there.
what
done.
I understand you have multi-balls that you can sprinkle in, and I think Nick Stone looks like he agrees with me. But Zach, what am I missing? Because you love it. You love Jurassic Park. How am I not viewing this the right way?
For me, the paddocks are just background noise. Yeah. You start them, you want to progress through them, but also you're prepping those T-Rex modes. You get that GMC going there, and then you get the little virus computer mode. So you're stacking that at the same time there. All a while, you're trying to spell chaos too. I'm always trying to do that. So if I miss my skill shot right off, I'm like, okay, F it. I'm going to the C. I'm going to try to get the C because the second shot to qualify my mode or my paddock is an H, so get my C, got my H. Oop, I got to get an A. O is a bitch, but I'm going to try to get that. But I want to start a paddock first, and then I'll load up that little T-Rex a little bit. That feels good. Let's get a little computer mode going here. Bam, bam, bam. Start stacking them all. Uh-oh, chaos is ready. Hit that damn chaos. And then there goes paddocks. Boom. And then you got the T-Rex. Yeah, linear.
Well, that's
linear about that.
That's super helpful though. That's what you're basically saying. If I treat the paddocks as background noise,
got me all fired up now.
But that's what I was saying. I mean, there's so many
drained
people
like halfway through that though.
True. Yes. Hit the C shot, drain. Okay. Well, maybe next ball. No. Yeah, Craig, you're right. But that's what I'm saying is there's so much love for this game. Like I've had friends that were basically like, don't trade away TNA or you're not going to get it back. Like you will love Jurassic Park. Like you will not want TNA. But that's what you're saying. Focus more on the other things that come along in the journey of the paddocks.
Yeah,
instead
I'm
of
building
just
beef stew here. I'm trying to sprinkle in every little ingredient until it gets done and it starts popping and boiling over.
That's it. The paddocks are really just there. You're kind of always working on those, and then you're getting those side things. You're talking about modes with spinners and different objectives and stuff like that. Well, you're going to get those in your control room. You're going to get those in your T-Rex modes, and those are all stackable with the paddocks, along with multi-balls. You can have a control room mode. You can have a chaos multi-ball and a paddock all going at the exact same time.
There's nothing better than Joel. Yeah, Joel, this is what you need to do, right? So your paddocks are going to keep going.
Sure.
But get that the computer, what do you call it, Mike? The little
control room.
Control room. Get a control room going, and then at that point try to get chaos going and double stack that control room and the paddock.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're going to see blue lights going. You're going to see the other lights going for the regular paddocks. You're going to love it. You're going to love life.
I don't doubt it. And that's what I'm saying. It's only been a few days, so I needed this. All right. I needed the passion coming
Little
through.
pep talk. Little
Yeah,
pep talk.
the
You can
little
do it,
pep
Joel.
talk.
You can do it.
But
Good
there's
or bad?
people in chat here that are saying, you know, that they feel that Godzilla is like a baby game compared to Jurassic Park. And I understand. I will say, if I play Jurassic Park for 30 minutes straight and it's kicking my butt, like when I'm hitting the shots, it feels good. But when you miss the shots in Jurassic Park, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. While Godzilla, like, it just feels good. And I understand maybe it's just an easier shooter and it kind of carries you along a little. And maybe that's what I need. I'm just not as good of a player as other people. And maybe that's a thing where it's like this level of player probably is drawn more towards Godzilla. Why once you go above that, you can get into the complexity of Jurassic Park or this or that. I mean, I do think Jurassic Park is a harder shooter than Godzilla for sure. But I'm just good. I was focusing too much on paddocks, waiting for the excitement to happen and just kind of trying to sprinkle in multi-balls when I felt it was needed. But you're saying no, don't do it that way. So
No, and Scott Dye in chat, he's on it. Visitor Center is one of the best wizard modes in pinball. It is super satisfying, a lot of fun. I've only gotten there a couple times. Didn't know what the hell I was doing, but yeah, always chasing.
Well,
that
come
wizard.
stream it with me, Zach, and you get it to it in the first night. You know, that's
It does, like,
That's
these
how you
games
sell it.
do.
Go ahead, Craig.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, it does take time to get into some of these games, because they are so different in feel and you know, shot combinations. So I don't think it's that uncommon that you're into one thing and you're really loving something, and then you go to another one and you're like, I'm not really digging it because I'm loving the other one so much at the moment, right? But so you know, probably like 200 or 300 games in, Joel, it'll start to click with you more. I would suspect.
I mean, I'm gonna
right?
have it for a few months, and I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited, and yeah, Fight Cave. It takes at least 50 games. I know for a fact. Like Zach has dropped games off at my house, and the first 2-3 nights I played it, Stranger Things is a perfect example. I was like, I hate this game. Like I did not enjoy it at all. And then once I started to learn the code, and there was a few code improvements over the time that I had it here, by the time it was time to go, Zach's like, hey, I need to pick that game up. And I was like playing it every night, just like getting my fill as much as I could because I knew it was going to be, I was sad it was going to go. So I get it, but there's so much love for Jurassic Park. And now that's here, I will continue to unravel it, which should be a good time. But
Joel, do you have the movie code on there too?
I don't. I was starting, so that's a whole nother thing. Now, chat, I mean, close your ears if you don't want to, Zach, but this does not have the Insider Connect kit on it. And I will tell you, props to Stern, because I missed it. Like I wanted, like I only played a few games, and I am so used to having Insider Connect on my other games, having home team, logging in, all that fun stuff. I'm like, I want my achievements. I want to be able to log in. Like I wanted it. I really wanted it. And I will tell you, that's what I'm saying. Close your ears, Zach. If you don't have Insider Connect on your game, there's a loophole. You can basically
buy one.
Yeah. If you have to have one, that's the thing. You have to have at least one for this to work. But basically, look it up. There's a way that you plug you plug a Wi-Fi dongle, an SD card in there, and connect to the other adapter. You can connect your game in a way that you can get home team on it. Yeah, share your QR code reader. Basically, yeah. You can look it up, but I was able to get it on my machine, and I'm with it. Like it's Insider Connect is legit. I don't know. It's one of those, I didn't realize how much I liked it until I had a game here that I knew had achievements that I wasn't accessing. So home team is like a gift. It's so great, and I love having it. But
yeah, it's great. I every time one of the games I owns is up on the Stern leaderboards for the month. I'm on that game. I'm trying to hit the leaderboards, get the top scores. It's great. I was expecting more features to be out by now. I mean, I'm not complaining. I know, shit happens, but I'm waiting for more stuff to come out for it. I'm a paying member. Like I pay the premium.
Yep.
And I just got renewed again for the second time now. I don't know if I get the package anymore. I don't know if I get a little package from Stern anymore, whether it was just the first time. So I'm paying. Now I want to get what I'm paying for. I want the extra features that are supposed to be coming out, that sort of thing. So
Yeah.
hoping those come out soon. I just want home leaderboards. I want to have my TV and have the leaderboards when I have friends over, stuff like that. Like that's simple
So
things
everybody
you
can
can just
see
add for all.
everybody can see Carter,
Carter's
Coach
name.
Carter at the very top.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, I mean Zach will have an amazing, barn for a leader. Like his is a perfect spot for a home leaderboard. I don't know.
On board.
Yeah, it's going to be great. But Joel's addicted inside. Hey, and Precision Flippers. Yep, there we go. There's a shout out to Precision Flippers. But yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about Jurassic Park, and it seems like there are some people that agreed. There are some people that agreed with me in chat, and there's others that don't. So that's fine. I think my opinion on that will change over time. Other opinions that have changed over time. Not Jurassic Park. Bond 60th. Bond 60th. 2 weeks ago, we talked about this. 2 weeks ago is when it came out. That's when they showed all the pictures and everything. We sat here on camera and or on stream and looked through the game, looked at the layout. Mike, I know you were here. George was here and Dennis was here. So Craig, I am curious your opinions of Bond 60th. What you've seen. Let's not talk about the reveal yet, but just the game itself. What are your thoughts?
Yep. Art package wise, I think it is probably one of Stern's weakest titles, and I would call Bond in general one of their weakest art packages that I think they've had in a long time. I think the cabinet art in this game is abysmal.
You're blind.
No, it's horrific.
Freaking gorgeous.
It is horrific.
Especially that open
Hold the
area.
man down.
Yeah.
And I was looking at the Stern Pro or the 007 Pro today at the distributors, and I don't really like it either. It's I really wish the license holder would have let Stern modernize it, because I think to take the original images and to try and clean them up and put them on. Okay, so this is the 60th.
Oh yeah.
It's so uninspired and terrible. I think Zach and Dennis did a great. Listen to the last podcast where they talk about it. It is. And I don't necessarily blame this on Stern. I do think a lot of this rests with the license holder, but if I'm Stern, I'm like, this is the best we can do. Like to put every single poster on there, and we think that's a fun idea. First of all, I think it's a giant ripoff of GNR, frankly, where they started this trend, or were the first to put the posters from concerts on there, or album art on there.
Yeah,
in
but
collage.
It's totally different.
It kind of works in that game.
Better.
It's
better
so
on
much
GNR.
better
It's way
on
better.
GNR. If you look at this,
it's way better. And so I feel like they tried to do the same thing with this, but with the movie posters, and it doesn't work for me at all. This looks cool. Like that looks like somebody's wall. Like they did the right thing. They got the original art.
Yeah.
They modernized. They made it in high def. They were allowed to manipulate it, I'm sure, to make it work, and it all comes together, to make it look like a cool rock and roll themed machine. This just like it doesn't know what the hell it wants to do here.
There's little gaps. We saw gaps.
I know.
Gaps in the art.
Yeah.
With,
So it's just not good, and the back glass isn't good. I mean, it's just not good.
I don't
Now,
mind
I
the
will
back
say
glass, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I will say the play field, when you look at that play field, same with all of the versions of it.
Yep.
It does have a very 90s, feel about it, which I think is very unique right now in the world of Stern. It doesn't feel, it feels vintage 90s. It doesn't feel like vintage 60s or vintage, and that's what all of them kind of feel like to me, is kind of like a vintage 90s theme.
Okay.
I hate the top hat. I know the theme they're going with. I hate the spinner because I think it's completely uninspired. Again, they've done that 1,000 times, and I'm tired of seeing those things too. I don't doubt though that this is going to be a great shooter, because Keith Elwin doesn't make bad shooters. So I don't even have to see this game played once, and I know it's going to be, despite all of the horrible looking stuff, I still think it's going to be a blast to play. And the reels, again, I just wish there's it's such a unique thing. They went to all this trouble to make these mechanical reels, and it still looks digital. Like I just think they went to all this trouble. They placed it right where the LCD is, and I think to the untrained eye, you're gonna think, Now, Zach will tell us when you see that live, maybe it actually does look like a real spinning round, but I want it to be more vintage or more feeling mechanical than I think it looked on the trailer.
Yeah.
That's
Make
for
it-
Well,
sure.
that's
Don't
because it
make it
looks.
too
It's like
vintage,
the.
or you're gonna
It's
have
like
to fix
the.
it. I don't want
Sorry,
that.
go ahead.
I said,
It's
don't
like
make it too
the.
vintage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the
No.
the speaker panel is the exact same as you would see on the modern Sterns. That's the
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
Right? It's like they just took the speaker panel and then just put
Yeah.
a piece of plastic and cut out 4 little holes for the
I
score
don't
reels,
like
and
that.
then
Yeah.
they should have made that a little different, and then that would make it look obviously different than the other games. And
I do think the promo images don't show the reels well. Like there's a
No.
video, I don't have it, but it was like Bond at CES, and it's showing it from any angle from the side is where you actually start to see that there's depth there. Like
Yeah.
it shows it way better. But you're right. I know when this rendering was leaked months ago, I saw the reels. I was like, well, that doesn't look like physical reels. And then the announcement, the game came out with the actual images. I was like, did they not change that? And then I agree. I just think the promo stuff doesn't show it well. But
So I actually think that the Batman 66 does a better job of doing vintage reels than actual mechanical reels. Like I just,
okay.
you know what I mean? I do. I do.
The hell is that?
all right, and to
The
counter,
fake ones look better than the real
yeah,
ones.
and to counter,
They do
Zach,
because
yeah.
they put 4 up there,
Okay,
and I just think that looks weird with 1 reel there.
What-
Anyway.
I hear you there.
What do you have, Zach? I mean, how is Craig wrong? Please.
Tell me, please.
I was listening until he said, I like virtual pinball more than I do fucking
The-
physical pinball. Oh, God. The only thing I said about the reels is like, have you ever tried to mess with like the stepper motor, all that on an EM? I don't want it to be too
Too real?
vintage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
I was just messing with one. They suck, man. They really
Do
suck.
they? Yeah.
And yeah, these are cool. I like that. I like that there's a physical reel. I like that there's a physical reel more than I do a little LCD number on a screen. So I like that. But I mean, Craig's right. The art is not. It's not a looker. It doesn't look very well at all. I said that on the podcast on the pinball show. I like the playfield art. I happen to
do.
think that
Yeah.
that looks. I think it actually looks good. It's not like
Mhm.
it's passable or anything. I think it looks good. It does remind me of those 90s WPC games, Demo Man or Monster Bash, where you see those colored paths.
Yeah.
I think that's a sharp look. Do I like the bonds down, on the bottom third? I don't know. Do I like half of the damn picture stuff that's on the bottom third whenever they do that? No, unless it's Zombie Yeti and it's hand drawn.
Yeah.
But the screen placement, I think it's pretty cool. And then everything else, I just think looks so much damn fun that I can't wait to open one up for myself and to shoot it. I held on to my Gomez LE and didn't unbox it because I was waiting for them to release this. And after they did, it looks great to me. I'm going to keep my LE in the box, and then I'm going to open a 60th.
So
Nice.
That teal is sexy, though.
Yeah, no.
It
If
is.
you're
I
gonna talk
really like
about,
it. I like that.
if you're gonna talk about
Why
the
you gotta show
outside
its
of the
ugly
game,
side. Show its good side, Joel.
look, if
Show the scuba side.
the scuba side, oh, that's the bad side.
Scuba side.
There we go.
See, I like this LE way better than the
There we
60th
go.
as far as the art goes.
I agree.
Oh, that does look
If you only had one game, right? If you only had one game sitting in the corner of your basement, this is the prettier looking game. There's there's no denying that. And the fact that the topper, if you want to, the topper's not even a deciding factor because you can buy the topper for this. But I think this is the prettier game from the outside. But at least me, so hey, thank you for everybody that's subbing to the channel. Really appreciate that, guys. To me though, once you have multiple games and you have them in a lineup, I don't really care about the cabinet art. I don't care as much. I really care about what does the front of the cabinet look like and what does the back of the cabinet
You
look
really
like.
care what the front of the cabinet
Well,
looks like.
the front of the cabinet on this bad boy is, where is it? It's there's the front.
Oh, that looks
Nice. It looks like
good.
Zach's background
Sexy.
right now. It's,
That's right.
Yes.
I'm honing.
Yes.
I'm honing my 60th right now.
And the back glass is fine. I don't mind it, but I don't get. I mean, I don't know if I was in the position where I was like, I feel for David Dennis, believe it or not. I know he has no soul, but I do care about him, and I know that he loves Bond. He loves Bond, and so this is probably tough for him. Where he's like, what do I buy? And I know he was struggling between the Pro, the Premium LE, and then waiting for this. I don't know. As a diehard Bond fan, I don't know if this. I don't know if he probably has every poster already taped up in his bedroom. So maybe he loves this. I don't know.
Likes those Connery shorts.
I know. I don't know. So Michael Holiday, best back glass out of all of them. Do we agree? Do we like this back glass better than that?
I think I might.
I talked to the owner of Tapper's Pinball, or it's a pinball bar downtown. Awesome dude. They have Bond, and he says the issue is it doesn't say Bond on it says Dr. No. And he's like, none of the younger generations have any idea that that's a James Bond game. They just, because it says Dr. No. So
what is the front of that cap? Does the front not say 007 on it, like this one?
It says
This one
007 down there.
Does it say that on the Pro? On the Dr. No?
Yes, it does say, it does. But I will...
The LCD screen will say it too.
True, but he said it's a genuine problem. But that, I mean, this doesn't say Bond. It says 007, but it's a little more apparent. I don't know. We're not going to see these on location.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, we're not going to see them on location.
And is that because they couldn't get the license to use the name James Bond? Is that what they were having a hard time with?
I don't know.
Is there any reference to it in the game or on the screen? Does it show the name Bond? Well, you can spell Bond on the game, so they must, right? Like if the drop targets, they spell Bond and stuff. So I mean, if they can do that, they can obviously include the name if they wanted to.
I mean, there's no doubt 007 is, I think, recognizable, but to not use James Bond at all is a bit odd to me.
Now, this is a good pinball machine. This was one of the first ones I owned, actually. I think this was like, we've had about 80 pinball machines go through the basement, and this was probably number 4 in our collection that we owned.
So that was a question in chat. Is this a better looking game? Is this a better looking game? I don't know.
The playfield on that game, GoldenEye, resembles the playfield on Gomez's. I honestly do. Look at the top down. The artistic style is similar.
Yeah.
It also has the best jump ramp shot in pinball.
I know you spoke highly of this.
What?
Yes. Are you? Oh yes. Get it down that in lane. Flip that switch up. Fire it up there. Jump. Land in the satellite. Start your multi-ball. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Jump like
the only thing good about the Toy Story. The only thing good about the Toy Story one is it's repeatable. That's it. This one is a better shot.
Kaboom's where it's at. You're jumping the actual shark, baby.
Yeah, I do genuinely miss the Duke Kaboom shot after having that here in the basement. But I don't know. I'm not saying this to bash on the 60th, but we talked a lot about the layout. We talked a lot about the art. I know I was curious to hear Craig's takes. They're strong. I know Zach, we've heard your takes on the pinball show. I think you and Dennis did a really good job talking about those. I think the 4 of us and all of chat has to agree. The layout looks incredible. I think there's no way this game isn't going to shoot pinball, well. Yes,
it does look great. You're right.
I think it's good. I like the art on the playfield. I like the blue. I'm not used to that much blue, but I really enjoy it. It's a game that I definitely want to play. But one thing that's changed since the last time that we talked about this was it was the day it was announced. And when it was announced, everything was sold out, right? I mean, that's what we hear. Everything's sold out. Things have changed. And maybe Zach, you can fill us in on this, but it just seems like there's been this roller coaster of good luck trying to find them at 20,000. There are some people I think there was somebody at a spot was selling it on Pinside for like 22, 24. And then all of a sudden now you have distributors that are afraid they're going to be stuck with them. So they're selling them for 18. I mean, it's just been this, I have never seen this.
Who are they?
Who are they? Yes.
Give me their names.
I don't know. I've never seen this with so quickly, right? I mean, you look at like Halloween. Halloween, it was sold out instantly. And then over the course of the first few months, now all of a sudden people are selling their spots and taking a loss and blah, blah, blah. But I don't know. I mean, Zach, you've been a distributor a few years now. Have you had anything like this? I mean, when you had an opportunity with Beatles to set a price, what did you have this?
Beatles was right before I became an official dealer.
Oh, so you didn't experience, because I'm curious with
I
Beatles.
Did that with, Elvira 40th.
Okay,
dealers set their own price, so we went through that. The big difference being that Elvira 40th came out and Stern didn't sell them direct. When Stern sold them direct, they set the price. I mean, whatever they want to say, they set the price at $19,999. But when it comes to sales, we did, like I said on the pinball show, for those that didn't listen, we did very well the first day. We sold out essentially of all of ours, and then the next day came, and once everybody was talking about it and discussing it, people got cold feet. Didn't pay their deposit, didn't pay their invoice, and we had 5 people back out. Now, some dealers get 1, some dealers get none, some dealers get maybe 120. So every dealer's different. But is my volume?
Yeah, Zach, Chad, apparently it's that sexy low voice that.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. That's a little better.
Is that any better, Engelbert?
I don't have that depth that you have. I'm sorry, but is that better? I hopefully
deep, huh?
The timber.
Everybody's
So yeah. So that was the first day, and then or that was the second day. Second day, 5 people dropped out, but then we had more people get in. So and then the next, it's like been back and forth. We still have a couple left. Like right before we started streaming, we sold another one. So I'm not too worried about the sales. The sales are going well. I think when everybody's feedback is, this pinball machine looks like a blast to play and it's super loaded, I'm not too worried about it. I think that if we've sold this many out of the 500 that is all dealers in Stern Pinball, and nobody's played it, and everyone's feedback is, it looks like a blast to play, number 1, and it looks loaded, number 2, I think we'll be fine. I think everything will be fine. I don't think these things are going to tank. Nor do I really think, given I'm just being real, given the price and comps, I don't think it's going to skyrocket either. I think it's going to probably sit anywhere from, 18 to 21 on the secondary market. So
okay.
I think it'll sit. I think it'll do well. At the end of the day, we can't forget that you cannot play a pro counterpart. You can't play a premium or an LE counterpart. You can't play, if you want to play 5 Keith Elwin games, you're going to play the 4 you're used to and this one.
Yeah.
That's it. There's only one model to play. That's why if you take the price out of this equation, that's what Dennis and I were talking about. What's the argument then? I think so much of this, the perception, the first impressions from people come based on a price. And there's nothing wrong with that, because at the end of the day, you've got to pay a lot of money for this game. But if you separate those two and then really try to objectively give first impressions on the game itself, I think you're going to have a lot more positives than you do negatives. But yeah, expensive ass game for sure.
I don't know. It's you probably know more about it than I do, obviously, because you're on that side of it. But to me, it's just, what scares me is that we're not going to experience these out in the wild. So,
Why not?
Who's
going to put a $20,000 pinball machine in a barcade for? Listen, I go to barcades and I see people kick games, and like, if I was an operator and I had one of those out there and I saw somebody kicking it, I mean, no way. I
mean, there'll be a handful.
I think AC Goji will have it.
Yeah,
Boom.
but I'm not flying to California to go play it. Like, that's...
Now, you said you want to... Well, I can't guarantee that every local bar in the entire United States and world is going to have it.
Yeah, but it's very common. Most pinball locations at this point... Wizard World. So if Wizard World gets one in Fort Wayne, that's 2 hours for me. But still, it's just not all location. There's a lot of locations that they get every Stern Pro. That's just common. But they can't. I mean, this isn't going to happen. So, and there's a lot of games like Rush. When Rush came out, people were either diehard, they were Canadian and they were going to buy it, or they're not. But yet it's been out long enough, and enough people have played them on location or in tournaments. People are really starting to fall in love with that game. I know, Zach, there was a time where you had them in stock and then gone. They were, you couldn't, I mean, you haven't had a premium in stock in quite a while. Do you have any Rush in stock right now?
Yeah, we've got Rush Pro in stock. We're ready to go.
Okay, but
now tell me this. I want to ask my fellas here, Greg, Mike, Joel. All right, hypothetically, whenever your local arcades get the new Stern game, they get a Pro in, you go and play it?
If you haven't let me borrow it, I do. That's yeah.
But I haven't bought it myself. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And
yeah, definitely.
Craig, do you get out there and play?
See, I'm lazy when it comes to that stuff. So,
yeah.
You know, I try and I piggyback it onto another visit. So like today I was at the airport, you know, dropping my wife off. I'm like, oh, I'm just around the corner from the distributor. I'm gonna go over and see what they got, you know, and so yeah, I don't.
Well, that's 2 out of 3. There's nothing wrong with that. Next question, Joel, Mike, do you guys go out of your way, if your local place has a Pro, do you go out of your way to drive to play the LE version of that game? You see where I'm going here?
No, is the question.
You don't.
Yeah, if I've experienced the Pro, then I have no. I'm not going to go out of my way to experience the LE. Yeah.
I mean, that depends. Right. Like, you know, I have a Godzilla Pro, and I go to an arcade that has the premium, and I go there because I like playing the premium. But that's like a special circumstance. Typically, you wouldn't definitely do that. No,
you wouldn't. What if there was no Pro or premium or LE version of that game? It becomes a hell of a lot more special. Joel, you even already in your mind calculate, okay, 2 hours away. That's kind of I could kind of do that.
Yeah.
Would you do that for LE? You said no. Would you do that for a Pro? No. But you would do it for this game because it is special. It is Keith Elwin, and it's the only way you can play.
So what I know, Zach, we've talked, and there's a chance that I may be able to borrow one of these to stream. It may happen. Yeah. But what I realized was, like, if I got one to stream, I'm pretty confident there would be people that would like travel to want to visit my house. So like, because they're like, oh, I know somebody, like I have pinball friends all over the state of Indiana or even up in Chicago or whatnot. And it's just like, it wouldn't surprise me if Chuck Wirt in Cincinnati was like, hey Joel, is there any way I could go over to your house and stream it with you? Like, yes,
if I own a barcade and I have 3 competitors within a 100-mile radius, I'm thinking about buying that because look, just like I said on the pinball show, this isn't a, boy, is this going to make $20,000? We got to get that out of our minds. That's not important if you're a business person. If you're a business person, you put it in there, you attract people for a product. At the end of the day, you get as much as you can because you're different than everybody else. And then what can you do? It's not some asset you're going to set on fire. You sell the damn thing whenever you want to. You're not losing $20,000. You're losing whatever the market sells on the secondary on the secondary market. And I think it would be probably a pretty smart business decision. If I had an arcade and I had competitors locally, my ass would be opening up a 60th and I would be advertising the hell out of it. I'd even probably try to fly Keith Owen down to do an appearance.
Well, that makes sense though, because I mean, you know, if I'm going to that arcade, I'm not just going to go and play the new Bond. I'm going to throw, $5 into Deadpool. I'm going to throw $5 into Godzilla too, where I would do that at the other arcade as well. But if I'm going
throw 5
to
beers into your belly.
Yeah. So it's not only bringing, I mean, yes, the game may not make its $20,000 back, but as a whole in the business, it is going to bring more people in. And it's going to drive business on the other games and on drinks, beers, food, whatever they sell. So I see that. I don't necessarily think that it's a big gamble for an operator to buy the game. I just don't know. It's not that I don't think that they would do well with it. I just don't know that they. I feel like they'd be a little scared to spend that much money on one game. They could get almost 3 pros for the price of that, right? And then throw those in their arcade as well. So
this is a good question here in chat. Best argument I've heard for it. Curious if it'll be $2. Yeah, I think we actually saw I think we actually saw on there was a picture somewhere that said like $1. I don't know. There was something. But I am curious. Like this would be, I don't know if that's your thing. Like if Wizard World, I bring that up is in Fort Wayne, Indiana. They have like 100 machines. That's all they do. They don't sell food. They're not there for beer or food or anything. Like it's just for pinball. I think they do like the Indiana State Championships and everything too. But yes, if they get one of these and I don't blame them for charging $2 a game.
Three games for $5, yeah.
Yeah, it would deserve it. I mean, it deserves it for what it is because that's one of those things where it's like, oh, you go to Wizard World, you gotta make sure you play the Bond SLE before you leave. Like
when I go to these family entertainment centers, I mean, some of these games I'm sliding that card and it's like $1.50, $2 for an arcade game. So I don't think that's crazy.
Yeah, ours here are already like the arcade we go to the nearest me. All the modern Sterns are already $2 a game. $3 for 2 plays, $2 a game.
Well, that's Canadian, so it's like 50 cents here, right? So no.
Like or something.
Speaking of, when I talked to the guy at Tappers, he said one game that's just crushing it right now is Toy Story. Like Toy Story for their location. It's downtown Indianapolis. They get a lot of foot traffic, a lot of 20, 30-year-old people that come in. It's a cool place to hang out. They have a whole, all the arcades are free, and then the pinball machines cost money. But he's saying like Toy Story Mando, those two are like consistently great earning pins. And then there's normally whatever's newest fluctuates. But he said last month, like one of his highest earning machines was Munsters, and it's because one guy, apparently like one guy was all in on Munsters and played it like daily. So
that's funny.
I don't know. Toy Story though. I mean, Zach, any update on how you feeling on Toy Story sales wise? Do you have any like CEs or did those come and go? I know that was a thing. They all sold out and then.
I could sit here and I could bullshit you as a salesman. I've been accused of doing so by countless people. I've been accused of doing that by more people than there are Bond 60ths. And I'm here to tell you that no, sales are not great right now in Toy Story. Whether it's the LE or the CE, they're kind of sitting right now. I was hoping that more people would get to play them and realize how great that damn game is. But right now we're pretty much sitting on those. Those are sitting. We still have some GNRs. People are, once Toy Story came out, we had more GNR sales because people were like, okay, I don't want Toy Story. Let me try GNR. But right now, that inventory is kind of sitting. Right now, Sterns are moving. Sterns are a movie. And then CGC. Right now, Cactus Canyons are hard to get our hands on because they're getting the LEs out. They're getting the SE Pluses hopefully out soon. So they've not really produced any SEs, and all the dealers are pretty much dried up on those. So those have been really good sellers as well.
Were you worried at all about the price increase that went to all Stern games come January 1st? Was that?
Oh, yeah.
Do you feel like that's? I mean, I know you
likes price increases.
Yeah, but that's something where do you feel like we're getting to a point? I don't know, where too much is too much. Like, have you had people that have been on a list for, let's say, a Deadpool that when you reached out and said there's a price increase, they're like, I can't do it anymore?
It just depends on the title. So there are games that you're seeing that are going to sit more now because of that price increase that were not as popular of a Stern catalog game that others were. But games like Jurassic Park Premium, Deadpool, Elvira, Godzilla, of course. Avengers is crawling up there. Iron Maiden is another one. Those, the majority of people are still staying in. They're like, it sucks. I'm mad at Stern, but I still need one. So it depends. Like if there was these A-list titles, I think people would even pay more. But nobody likes a price increase, even dealers, because the more prices go up, the less quantity we're going to sell of things.
Yeah,
and the pros only went up. The pros only went up by $100 though, right? So I mean,
yeah,
that's not terrible. That's
it's doable. But if you look, so here's hey, thank you for the sub. Appreciate that.
Thanks, David.
Yeah, right here. So it's like the pro is now officially. This is Rush. I just scrolled down to. It's official. I mean, we're at $7,000. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's happening. I don't know. It's tough. I get it. I think it's getting tougher, obviously, to get into the hobby. But to me, maybe it's a selfish thing. But every single time the games go up, the value of my games just went up too. You know. But like, I'm curious, Turtles. Like, one day when Turtles finally gets the love it deserves. I know Zach loves Turtles. When it finally gets the love it deserves, all of a sudden that game's gonna go because they're not making it anymore.
I'm waiting for the same to happen on Led Zeppelin.
Led Zeppelin's a good game. Derek is in chat. Derek is a local collector here. He just got it. He actually just bought a Led Zeppelin from Flip N Out. And he messaged me right before this, and he goes, "I don't get it, man. Like, this game got so much hate, and I am loving every bit of it."
Yeah.
When you start comboing those shots and enjoy the music, he has a premium, so it has the expression lighting kit. That game is fun. That game is genuinely fun. So I
get some expression lighting in there, and ooh.
Definitely.
That really kicks it up.
God, I would. I had Zach, you let me borrow a Led Zeppelin Pro, and putting the expression lighting kit into the game is such a big game changer, like legit such a huge game changer that I almost feel bad for all the Rush owners that don't just wait. You think you love the game now. Just wait when Stern finally makes those kits.
I know, I'm
and
dying.
You can put it in there. Oh, it's so good.
I'm dying. I can't wait to put them in I have a Led Zeppelin premium, so I know how awesome the expression lighting is in the game. And just with everything that's already in Rush, the expression lighting, I can't wait to put it in there.
I'm seeing sales for Led Zeppelin premium. Those have been pretty good because of the expression lighting system. Because remember those come standard on the premiums on Zeppelins. Where they don't on Rush, so people are doing that.
Yeah, and it makes me happy. I'm seeing Tex here. I'll be buried in my Turtles game. No one can take it from me. You know, I appreciate you.
Turtles is great.
Yeah, I do have to call out Sterling if he's in chat. Balls of Steel Pinball. He is selling his Turtles, and I hope he regrets it. That's all. I love Sterling. It is a fun game. It's brutal, but it's a fun game.
Hey Joel, you know who would love to play Bond's 60th anniversary?
Me.
I can almost guarantee you that hundreds of competitive pinball players at INDISC next year. Picture that being the final game in the final round of the Open.
So
now that is how you competitively pinball.
Raph, appreciate the sub. I agree. What I will say is I told you me and Travis, we recorded a Triple Drain episode, a little mini one earlier today. And I made a comment about that because what did we see? What did we see at the end of both the finals of the Open?
I don't know. I fell asleep.
Oh God, you're so wrong, Zach. The finals were so great. They were so great. The end of I have a ladybug that just flew by. Anyways, that's odd. The final games in the Open were Bad Girls, Flash Gordon, and help me, Mike.
Yeah. So memorable.
Bad Girls was the second game.
Bad Girls was the second.
Flash Gordon was the third.
Yes.
Oh my God, I don't remember.
And by the fourth, their viewership was asleep.
No, there was 3, and they were great. But anyways, they all it was an older game.
Haunted
but
Mansion.
it was an older game, and I made a comment.
I don't remember seeing any modern games throughout the entire finals on that day.
Not even the semifinals.
I'm not even sure I saw a DMD
it wasn't Alien
game in those finals.
It
Alien
wasn't.
Star, it was in the banks. Oh, no, it wasn't Surf and Safari.
But it was an older game.
No
but here's the problem, and this was the deal, was I made a comment about that, and I was like,
Congo. It was Congo. It was a DMD game.
It was
not
Congo. Not the
yeah.
No, it was
Are you
I
sure?
don't think it was Congo.
Well, we had
Travis was definitely on Congo. I remember watching him.
There wasn't Congo with that, but then there was they played Tommy. I remember they played Tommy, and then Travis and Kaylee did Flash Gordon as their, and then there was the first. I don't remember who it was, but it was an older game. But the reality, the reason I bring this up is I was like, oh, Keith was driving the bus, so Keith Elwin. I was like, he must be picking older games so that keep the younger guys like Escher off of these modern Sterns. That was the thought. And Travis goes, no, that's not how it works. You can only pick every game one time. So he's like, Keith was out of picks. Like Keith had been driving the bus the whole time, so he'd already picked everything. And that's the same thing with Travis. Travis, when he had the chance to pick his playoff, he was out of picks. He's like, I wanted to pick Rush. If I could have picked Rush, I would have picked Rush. But the problem is they pick them early. So that's the issue. Firepower. Thank you, Gizmonic. Thank you. Firepower. Another old game. But that's the problem is, and
titillating.
But it's by the time you get to the finals, if you're one of these top players and you've been picking, you're out.
Joel,
and so you're stuck.
Who cares? Just change the damn rules.
Then, well,
I'm
not the tournament guy to tell him to do that. I mean, Mike, what do you do? Do you think there should be okay, you get to final or the final game, all picks are gone and you can pick
it's different in every tournament. Every tournament rules are different. I play in most tournaments I play in, there's no restrictions on what you can pick. The only restriction is you can't pick the same game twice in the same round.
Okay.
But if you move on to another round, you can go back to that game. Typically, INDISC is a bit of different rules. It's a hardcore tournament. It's the format in that tournament at INDISC is really, really hard to qualify in. And there's some strategy in picking games and whatnot. You can defer your pick, right? If let's say you're after 2 games, you're ahead. You don't need the third game because you've already won the first 2. Then you're going to defer your pick because you're going to save your picks for other rounds in the future. But do I agree with it? I mean, it's just a tournament decision. I like seeing all pinball. I like watching competitive pinball to watch the skill of the players. It's not necessarily to see
the game.
The bells and the whistles in the game. I loved watching that final game on Flash Gordon. It was actually incredible to watch. The skill that they exhibited during the game was unbelievable. Would it have been better on Rush? That's debatable. I don't know. Well, they did have a Rush there. Yeah. I don't know that I saw it on stream at all the entire weekend, and I watched pretty much everything through the entire weekend. And I did not see that game.
It's a great comp game. It's a great comp game to watch.
And I did not see Mystery Castle either, though. Mystery Castle was also not on stream.
It was there.
Well, it is unfortunate.
It was there, but I don't know that it was streamed.
So I've got to give a huge shout out to Carl with IE Pinball. I mean, first off, they did get the stream was able to get on the front page of Twitch, and that brought in at one point in time it was like 15,000 people were watching competitive pinball, which is insane. And the chat was incredible because there were so many people like, I can't believe I didn't know pinball is streamed. People are asking good questions. Everybody was super helpful. What sucked though is this was during Classics 2, the tournament, so only Classics game, and I think they were playing Cheetah at the time. And Cheetah, the only thing to do in Cheetah was hit the left orbit over and over and over again. So 15,000 people are watching pinball, competitive pinball, and they're like, so some of their thoughts were, apparently we're only playing there's still only old pinball games, right? And why are they there was somebody like, why are they only shooting one shot, and and I gotta, props to the commentators. They were responding, they were reacting to chat, and they were trying to communicate what's going on. So I don't know, quick little thing I just saw, we currently have 101 viewers. 101, that's the highest view count that I've seen out of, but that
competition.
That's not 15,000 viewers, but 101 concurrent viewers. Previously with TP and After Hours, we were streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch at the same time, and I don't know if we ever broke 100 without a big raid. So the fact that there are 100 people here, I really appreciate you guys. Thank you.
You can do better than that.
This is awesome. Thank you for being here.
You know what I realized? I realized, Joel?
Yes.
I'm expecting, because everybody gives me shit over competition pinball and broadcasting.
It's deserved.
And all this.
It's deserved.
Jeff, you can't say shit because you've never played in a tournament. What was that, Jeff? Jeff, was that yours? Jeff Teolis?
Yeah.
The most ignorant big conclusion I've ever heard of in my life.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't have an opinion because you've never played in a shit tournament. Like, ignorance.
Yeah.
But I will say this. What I've realized is, oh, you guys might not like this. Maybe INDISC is the greatest tournament that we have in pinball. I'm fine with that.
Yep.
Maybe Carl D'Angelo is objectively the greatest pinball streamer in history. Maybe.
He's
Papa
so great.
Pinball.
Yeah.
Maybe. Carl is a genius. He's greatness. That's fine. Maybe people don't want to change the rules, antiquated rules, of tournaments to make them enjoyable. I'm fine with that. But then on the other side, maybe INDISC doesn't deserve broadcast pinball to the masses. I think that's where I'm at. I'm putting too much weight in thinking INDISC has what it takes to entertain masses. I don't think it does. I really don't. I think, if anything, I've got to get my mindset off of thinking we can shape and mold something that is 3 days and put you to sleep with most of the game choices. Hitting the same shot over and over, that will turn people off. It's like Grandpa's game. We might as well play tic-tac-toe live on stream too. No, we just need to create something else. So I am finally conceding and saying INDISC needs to be what it is because it is wonderful. And as a deep pinball player, I love watching it. But whenever it gets, 50,000, 300,000 people, so what is it doing? I don't think it's doing anything. If I'm paying money and I'm sponsoring that show, if I'm Stern Pinball, and I said it last year and people got shitty, but I think people deep down agree with me. If I'm Stern Pinball, if I'm Jersey Jack Pinball, I'm paying money for sponsorship to get my product in the Final Four game. If there's not a modern game that can be purchased in that Final Four, for Stern, for Jersey Jack, for all these major manufacturers, it is a fail. And for anybody that really wants to grow pinball, it's kind of a fail. I don't know why I'm the only person that agrees on that. It's asinine to even think that everybody's like, no, Flash Gordon, damn it, that's the way. Flash Gordon, I almost give that a pass because that's good. That's bastardly. It's good. But what was I watching, Keith Elwin? I legit fell asleep watching Keith Elwin play the high stakes because it was this bullshit of the same shot over and over. Keith almost fell asleep. And no, and I'm a diehard pinball player.
It was the EM, which he was dominating.
Do this for a living.
Yeah.
And I was bored out of my mind. That's a problem if we're trying to get it to the masses and trying to make it entertaining. That's my only point.
Mm-hmm.
So I will say that there's two segments of people, and I do believe that there is many people that understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, but as a competitive pinball player, I'm watching it for a completely different reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And all these other competitive players are watching it for a completely different reason. They're not watching it because, oh my God, look, they still make pinball? Holy cow, can I buy one of these? Wow, that's fantastic. I believe the majority of people who are watching this already know about pinball, already know what's going on with pinball, and just want to explore what competitive pinball is all about. When there was like 18,000 people, it was during the finals when they were playing Bad Girls. And I said, you know what? I want to check out the chat because 15,000 people watching a pinball stream is absolutely ridiculous. The most I've ever seen is like maybe 3,000 people for like a James Bond reveal or whatever on Jack Danger's stream. 15,000 people, and I'm watching, and there's tons of new people there following following and subbing and whatnot. But the most of the stuff that I saw was people asking, hey, what are they trying to do here? How does this work?
Mm-hmm.
How does the point system? Is it just, there was so many new people that seemed to be intrigued by what was going on. And then you had obviously the regulars, explaining how that works and whatnot. And there was tons of comments where people were saying, this is fantastic. I didn't know there was competitive pinball. It's amazing. So I think that most of the people that were watching it were watching it because they want to know more about competitive pinball, not just pinball in general. I think they knew about pinball. I think they just wanted to see more competitive pinball, see what it was more about.
Mm-hmm.
There's a comment here and it stands out. So Scott Dye, and he basically what he's mentioning is, what do we think is a better display of pinball? what we just saw, INDISC, probably the best well-produced tournament stream that you're going to get this year. Or you have the Stern, I don't remember what it's called, but it's like the Stern
A pro circuit final
it's
there.
not pro. No, it's where they do.
Oh, you mean
it's
the one they
8
did on
people.
ESPN? Yeah.
8 people. They're doing the fast. It's 8 people. They're trying to do stuff as quickly as possible. It's super produced, highly produced. Introductions of players. Like, for a novice person, which are they going to find more entertaining? I know at least with INDISC, my brother was coming over.
Yeah.
My brother came over to help me get Jurassic Park down in the basement. And I am like standing in front of, because I had Travis, my buddy, my triple drain partner here is in the quarterfinals. I was nervous. I was anxious, and he got sucked right in because me pointing stuff out and then the commentators pointing stuff out. I thought it was riveting. I didn't care what game it was. I was locked in. I was way more locked in on that than I was the Stern 8 people competing.
Yeah.
I forget what it's called, but
I don't think they did a good job on that Stern thing. I mean, one, they advertised it as though anybody could apply, but they really had half of the people were
They're all
there
Chicago,
in the
yeah.
first one. They were there in the second one, and they didn't play the games actually against each other. They were recorded. I believe they were
Shoopy,
recorded
that's right.
individually,
Stern
right?
Heads
Playing
Up
their
Pinball
games.
Invitational.
Yeah. So, I mean, I can see a highly produced pinball tournament like that doing really well if done properly. And I just don't think that one was done properly. I really do think that a really well produced pinball tournament with, behind the scenes stuff, stories about the players, stuff like that could do really well, but it needs to be done properly.
Well, I would say I feel that Carl with IE Pinball is doing the best pinball stream that you can do for a live presentation.
Right.
The only thing I could think of is if you did, I don't know, like if there were player introductions that were filmed and edited before and between rounds, and instead of having the commentators talk, maybe you throw those in for the new viewers. Who is Keith Owen? Like, you could maybe sprinkle in some pre-produced stuff, or make the finals bigger, have some pre-produced. I don't know. Do you interview the wives and girlfriends of the players and,
Entrance
tell them about
music.
the
Stuff you can do.
Yeah.
I mean, is that going to
Yeah.
help? Craig, you haven't, what are you?
Well, I'm just trying to think of ways to grow the hobby, and I'm not. I think there's a lot that can be done, kind of grassroots stuff. And it was interesting that Rachel Risto, who's part of TPN as well, had a very interesting short podcast today where she was talking about what I thought was really interesting is she was talking about the differences between the women's only side of pinball and how she's really focused on growing the women's side of the hobby, and some of the differences that she finds with the women's side versus the men's side. And I was thinking she's got some really good points here about making this hobby not only more inclusive, but more welcoming to people, who don't know anything about the hobby. So I think what my impression was when I've been to a few tournaments, is that the competitive part of it, which is fine because you're at a tournament, overshadows everything. And so people forget that there are people there that maybe are there for the first time. And people get so competitive and that they shut out the welcoming aspect, I think, of inviting new people into the hobby, because God forbid someone comes back again or brings their friends back, and the thing starts to grow, right? And so, I'm not saying it's not a friendly environment. I'm saying I think more could be done in these, local tournaments to welcome new people, to invite them in, to actually, God forbid, show them how to win a game, show them what they have to do. This isn't it shouldn't be a secret, like you can still have to make the shot. So telling me what I have to do when I have no clue, why would that be a bad thing?
Well, two parts to that.
And why should I be scared if I'm a state champion to tell somebody that's never played before how to make a shot, or, don't do this, but do that. I'm sure it happens, but I just don't, I just think there's not, from what I've seen too, when I've been at both when I've participated and when I've been at bigger tournaments like at Expo, I think more could be done to actually highlight those tournaments, to encourage people that have never played in a tournament to come, and that when they do come, that they're people take them under their wing. They show them what's all about. There's more high-fiving. There should be more backslapping. There should be more,
More
less,
high fives.
I don't know, like something. It is missing something, and I can't put my finger on
Yeah,
it,
I
but I
think
think
you're right
Rachel was getting
for
close. I think
local
Rachel was
stuff.
getting
Yeah,
close to it.
for local
And
stuff. Yeah.
I started to understand why I think a little better, why I think it's a good idea that women have kind of gone off on a separate path here a little bit. But I think a lot of that could come back into the men's side as well, and it wouldn't be a bad thing to continue to promote the hobby in general,
Yeah.
anyway.
My two comments that it sounds like most tournament players that I've run into are extremely friendly. So if you are a
That
new
is true.
person
They are
and you
definitely.
genuine, I know even Escher, number one player in the world, is you could be playing him going into the next game and be like, hey, what are your thoughts? Like people want to see good pinball. They want to compete
Yeah.
based off of, feeling like they earned it, not just like, I know the rules and you don't, that kind of thing. Because Escher, even in the finals, he said like Bad Girls was the first time he's played it. So somebody there is telling him like, hey, I suggest you do this or that. The second thing, and this is a shout out to Chuck Wirt with the Cincinnati crew. When he streamed his tournament, he actually filmed a ton of these mini. So this is Chuck Wirt, his YouTube channel. These are 1.5-minute, 2-minute tutorials. So as they were switching games, as they went to the next game, he showed the tutorial. So it's like before each game, it was a 1 or 2 minute thing to show. So here you go, Chuck Wirt. This is him mini tutorial, and this is huge. I mean, like visually, like, hey, look down here, do this, do that. And if Carl spliced in some of these before each one, like, hey, this is probably what they're going to do, or this is your best way to skill, I don't know. And
isn't it wild
awesome.
that people?
Yeah,
It's what a novel concept that people have been suggesting and talking about for a handful of years now.
They do that on INDISC. They do that on INDISC.
So-
When the game is actually being played, they had a telestrator and the commentators were describing, how to play the game and what the things do. It's not to this level. It's not to this level for sure.
Yeah.
These are fantastic, definitely. But they are starting to do it a little bit, but that doesn't do anything for the competitors that are playing in that specific tournament.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right?
But
they're not watching the stream live or anything.
The
but-
drawing on the screen, and that's what surprised me. And maybe it was just because it was the finals and the commentators are so locked in that I didn't see anybody draw on the screen.
Oh, the telestrator was broken. The
Oh,
telestrator
that's what it
broke
was. Okay.
Towards the end of the finals, the
Because it
telestrator wasn't
worked
working.
so, like, it's such a useful
those are
tool,
very
but
helpful,
having Steve Bowden like, look, the orbit on the right, if and he's describing it, and I'm thinking like, can you just draw it? Can you just circle the target you're talking about? And
that's really helpful.
And that is a super helpful tool. So so I can't blame him for the technology breaking. But
I'd also want to add, like, Orby makes a great point here in chat talking about the commentary. Like, the commentary was top notch. The streaming was top notch. Everything was top notch, which is why I think that it needs to kind of just be its own thing. It's loved for a reason. It's the best for a reason. I just don't think that I just don't think it'll ever get to the point where it brings people in.
Well,
on a big scale. It's not the right format. It's not the right type. It's not the right. Commentators work great, but it just, I don't know. I've come to a realization, and it came to INDISC to do that.
I will be
You've had an
curious.
epiphany.
I mean,
did.
Carl was getting, if you're looking at the chat, Carl was getting a lot of follows. Like during that
Well,
time.
he got over 1,000 that weekend. He got over 1,000.
There's a freaking ladybug in here. It's on my. There you go. Hi, say hi.
Is that a good luck term or something?
I don't know.
There was something.
Anyways, he got a ton of follows, so it would be interesting. I mean, he got enough interest from that stream for people to be like, I want to see more of this. So, did that stream grow the hobby by 1,000 plus? Whatever. I mean, I don't. You may get a sale.
That's so hard to
So if I kill it, is that a bad thing?
It's so hard to don't kill that thing. It's so hard to judge because what have I told? I've told manufacturers before. Like when it comes, it's like saying when it comes to revealing a new product, have you seen what this channel can do? I've told manufacturers before, I could put a fucking squirrel in front of the screen and give you a pinball new product reveal, and it's going to get big numbers. All right. Yeah. I'm not crapping on what IE Pinball does because, as I've said over and over, he is the greatest. Right. And if anybody's going to bring in those numbers, nobody's going to do it better than Carl.
Yeah.
But when you're on the front page, you're going to get big views. I don't think that's now. Is that great that it gets? Yes. Better than anything has probably ever done in pinball. So we need to congratulate it. It is wonderful. But to equate it to say, he got that many views. Well, what does that mean? I think it's great because, if they subbed, if they followed, then if they're on again, they'll get notified. It's better than anybody else could ever probably do. But it's not getting the big eyes.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you look at the pinball category now on Twitch, it's not really any different than it was on the, I mean, with the exception of the weekend, it's not any different than it was before INDISC. You're still at, 150 viewers at best every evening.
Look, we need things like this. These things are important. Yeah. But if this is all we have, people, ain't a damn thing going to happen because their formats, they're too long, they're boring for the normal person that doesn't care too much about pinball. Either make it entertaining, a half an hour, just the final four, or don't. That's the only way to really make it big, in my opinion.
In my opinion, if I look at the last few years, I think the biggest influence that has media-wise that has made on an outreach thing, I'm not phrasing this well, but the biggest thing that I can think of is the slow-mo guy video that was made for pinball. Like that video, because it was a brand new machine, so it highlighted that these games are still being made. It was a huge video. I mean, millions of, I think the slow-mo guys have a few million subs, and it got millions of views. So that, to me, I think is probably, I mean, I'm not downplaying anything that Carl did or any of the streams out there, but it's just that I think that video was, I don't know, probably the best thing for pinball from a media outlet standpoint in the last.
I bet that video alone got a lot of new pinball machines into new players' homes.
So
INDISC is not going to do that. That's for sure. I mean, INDISC is not going to get pinball machines in homes, but it could get people interested in competitive pinball, which I think that was the point anyway.
That's great.
So.
Yeah, that is great.
So this video currently, as of right now, this thing's, I don't know. I mean, Slow-Mo Guys has 14 million subscribers. So that was roughly 14 million people that decided whether or not they wanted to click on the video. And then since then, the video's had almost 2 million views in 2 years. So I don't know. I mean, that's insane. Now, with that said, though, I mean, that stream had 600,000 views. It had 600,000 people, 15 at a time, that viewed. So, I mean, sure, let's get more of that. Let's absolutely get more of that. I hope next time, Carl, it would be interesting if Carl would have just been doing his normal stream. If he was just crushing Rush on stream and he happened to make front page. I don't know. I don't know if he would have had the same 15,000 people that would have been interested in watching him play. Or if it was the tournament aspect that brought him in, I don't know.
I'm not going to let that idea go, Joe, because I think if scripted and produced in the right fashion, it may have done better than a competitive pinball series.
You think just Carl streaming in general?
If scripted correctly and telling a story correctly, absolutely. You know what I think people want most of all in a game? They want excitement. They want entertainment. They want the journey to get to the wizard mode. They don't want player 2 coming up and waiting for the tilt bob to fucking settle down. They want to hear, I am playing Godzilla. I am Godzilla. I'm going to battle these 2 battles, and then I'm going to get into this. And guys, if you hold tight, if we can just get here, and we're about to see a wizard mode that nobody's ever seen before, come along the journey. I'm going to, that kind of stuff. That is a show.
Maybe.
That's what people want to see. They want to see the excitement. They want to see the ring being destroyed. That's what they want to see. They don't want to see ding, 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 ding. That's not what they want to see. Why do you watch movies? It's not the watch because of the runtime.
Yeah.
Why do you play Super Mario? It's not how many fucking coins you collect. It's because you want to see the boss at the end of the level. That's why you do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. It's good. I mean, we can all agree what happened over the weekend. An amazing stream with a ton of views. It's good for pinball. It is good for pinball.
Yes.
But do we know whether or not that's what's going to pull in people? It's probably going to be a mixture of everything. I mean, Jack Danger, he's a great personality, and that's what people fall in love with, his personality. He's pulling people in just because of his personality, and then the pinball and the play just happens to be the icing on the cake, right? And I think
there was nothing close to Carl. There was this last IE pinball thing on the front page, and then there was nothing else. I mean, there's very few things that reach that level. You just talked about it. Slow-mo guys reach that level. A freaking Kardashian puts her ass on a pinball machine. It reaches that level. Everything else, whether I'm entertaining or Jack Danger's, it's all bullshit because it's like 1,000 views. Who cares?
Yeah.
Jack Danger was
Level?
on the front page.
No level.
Jack Danger has been on the front page, and he didn't get nearly as many views as Carl did. And this was for reveals. But I mean, you know, there's a lot of people have you know, they've been questionable reviews. You know, a lot of people have complained about the way some of those went. But he has been on the front page, and he's maybe those 3,000 views that he was getting on reveals. Those were more on the newer games that were just being revealed, and people wanted to see those, right?
Yeah.
So it's completely different.
I mean, we've shown, and this is this is not a slight, but I know like Fliptronic, they had the opportunity to do the reveal for Deep Root, and Jordan and Becca, they're fantastic streamers, they're very entertaining, but they had a ton of views because it was the Deep Root reveal. I mean, that's like of Retro Atomic Zombie Adventureland. So that to me, sure, if Spooky or American or somebody called me up and said, "Hey Joel, we like what you do. Can you come reveal our game?" I mean, yes is the answer. I'm going to go do it. But do I think I personally am going to bring in a lot more reviews than anybody else that you insert in that position? No. I mean, it's the game. People want to see the game. People, that's the goal. But
send me a punny factory.
Yeah.
We got a Canadian manufacturer here in Canada. Send me a punny factory. I'll reveal it on my stream.
You're ready.
I could guarantee at least 30 viewers or whatever.
Well, I will say, so we're at 11:30. This conversation went way longer than I expected, but it's been a great conversation. It's been really good. There is a few more things I want to cover, and we're going to rely on our good friend Jason Knapp to provide us those things. But there's some juicy stuff. I'm skimming over Spooky,
there.
but this is juicy, and I'm curious, Zach, your thoughts here. But this is a rumor, and he clarified it as a rumor. But apparently, sometime last year, they're saying, I've been hearing for a while, Chicago Gaming Company is working on remaking Twilight Zone. We've heard that. I mean, that's there's questions about that. It's one of the most produced games ever made. Is it even that rare? Is this something you want to do? I don't know. But where's the rumor here? Well, the rumor was that a large 1,500 unit order of Twilight Zone ramps was placed last year. He didn't say it was CGC, did he? I don't think so. But it's just saying there was a company that ordered 1,500 ramps. So somebody
they're looking to flip them. They're going to make some big money on flipping these ramps.
Max getting into Twilight Zone ramps. Right
I don't know.
Corner of the market.
Don't tempt me.
So that to me is, if it's not CGC, who is it? Maybe there's a company we don't know about. Maybe it's something else. I don't know. But I mean, does that kind of confirm? It's still a rumor. I get it. But does that mean Twilight Zone is coming? And what are our thoughts on that? I know Twilight Zone is a huge nostalgia pull for a lot of people. It's not for me. It's not for me, but I know Mike's shaking his head. He's getting excited.
I used to have one, and that's probably my biggest regret, was getting rid of my Twilight Zone. I think it's probably I know people will disagree, but I think it's probably the best wide body Bolly Williams, and might be one of the best Bolly Williams DMD games, period, in my opinion.
Popeye just said to hold his beer.
Who would Frisco?
I knew you'd say that. I knew you'd say that.
Frisco says, gimme. Of course he does. Hottie is ready.
It's such a good game.
But Hottie, there's no topper, right? I mean, what are you gonna?
Not yet.
What are you gonna do? I don't, Zach. I mean, as a distributor, are you like licking your lips over here? You ready? I mean, do you
love
have?
for them to remake Twilight Zone. I love money, and that thing would print money for me. Yes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So
Absolutely.
is that something? Do you get phone calls from people that are like, hey, like, do you have people call you up requesting old games just because they're like, oh, I remember growing up with Adam's Family. You don't happen to have one of those, do you? I mean, is that a
multiple times a week?
so this is you would be all in on this, like
Absolutely. You know what's crazy? Even more so than this. Here's a
text put me on the
guarantee.
list now. There
I
you go,
would
Zach. Write them
guarantee you,
down.
If I had 100 Medieval Madness remakes in the box,
Yeah.
I would have them sold by tomorrow afternoon.
Wow.
I'm not being dramatic.
Yeah.
That's how like for the old games, Medieval Madness is the Godzilla. It's crazy. I think Twilight Zone. Honestly, I think I could sell more Medieval Madnesses still than I could Twilight Zone remake. Whenever we were saying it before, whenever something's on top, everybody wants a piece of it.
Yeah.
Twilight Zone's up there, but Medieval Madness, I don't know how many. They made a couple thousand. Yep, still not enough. People want them.
Yeah, and this would be the first licensed remake that they would do too. So I mean, there's got to be some licensing fees. And I heard that I thought that there was, people were talking about there being an issue with the license for Twilight Zone, that it was either too expensive or unobtainable.
Well, it's a hell of a lot harder than original themes. You think about it.
Yeah,
I mean, you got Rod Serling. You've got the license that is Twilight Zone. Then you have Gold Earring with the song and everything. So you have multiple components to that intellectual property. What Knapp's Arcade article I don't understand is there's really not enough information there. Like, okay, somebody bought 1,500 ramps. I don't even know what the hell that means. And come to think about it, I mean, what are the TZ ramps made of, Joel?
Plastic. Oh, they're wire formed.
There's one metal, one plastic, and the plastic one on the left feeds to a wire form.
I'm looking at the habit trails. Yeah, it's
plastic. It's plastic. I think.
Is it? I thought they were both metal.
No, one of them's metal, one of them's plastic. It doesn't mention which one that they ordered 1,500 of.
If there was ordering, I would say ordering would be plastic, because I mean, if you're welding metal ramps together, I don't know if CGC does that or not, but I think they could.
I don't know. I just
the
know
vacuum form stuff is the stuff you usually send off for.
Well, did they buy the Medieval Madness ramps from somebody? Like, do we know if they molded them in house or if they just
that's why there's just not enough information here. I don't know. I mean, that's been the rumor. We heard that rumor from Kale Hernandez off of Pinball Party, featured exclusively.
Yeah, let me click this Let's Chat button and see if Jason responds. It tells us, we need more info. I just know there's a lot of love for this game, and Medieval Madness. Sure, it's very high on the list, but it's just there. I know. If you're going with nostalgia, there's a lot more people that have played Twilight Zone and Addams Family than they have Medieval Madness. But it's
the answer is Elwin Back to the Future.
Elwin Back to the Future would sell more.
Yeah, he's asking which would sell faster, and Elwin Back to the Future a new Medieval Madness run.
I think this is really interesting. If this is, we've heard rumors of this, or thoughts of it, but if this actually goes into effect, now I do know at least CGC, there's kind of a weird feeling right now because from a distributor standpoint, you guys have a lot of games you're still waiting on. From CGC. And so if CGC is talking about building something new, or it's just like, can we get done? Can we get done what we currently have first? I mean, I don't know. I
think we'd be lucky to see a new remake in 2024.
Because there's rumors of a license theme from CGC. And so hopefully that's what's coming this year. But they still have plenty of Cactus Canyons that they have to get out.
Yeah, I don't think we've received not even 15% of our allotted LEs 15? And 0% of our SE Plus orders.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, it was all Topper related, and that could have been That could be anything. That could be one screw that they're waiting on. That's a custom screw. That could be not a node board, but some sort of PCB inside. And I don't know. I don't know what we're waiting on, but we're waiting. I thought that was big news. I thought that was definitely big news that was dropped today. I don't know. Any other thoughts on that I'm missing out on? I know chat, there are people that are asking to be put on your list right now, Zach. And there are other people that are yawning.
Zach at flippinoutpinball.com. And we'll get you on any list you want, even Golden Girls.
Well, and talking about toppers, I mean, there wasn't a topper originally on Medieval Madness or Attack from Mars, and they made a topper for that. So if they're making it, there's going to be a topper for sure.
And not only did they make them, and they are some of the greatest toppers ever made in pinball.
They are pretty insane. Ed saying, I want to see Galactic Tank for I'm in. I'm all in on
Thanks,
Galactic
Adam.
Tank.
Shout out to Adam Streeter. He said he got a CCR 9 days ago from Flipping Out Pinball.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Wow.
We got
pretty.
Beautiful.
We have some spooky picks here. To note, one of the things that I'm seeing with these Scooby-Doos, I mean, it looks like they're doing a lot more custom PCBs underneath for all the lights and whatnot.
A lot of Cat 5 cords.
Yeah, so basically all individual, not node boards, but everything's going to be linked together. So it looks like probably building those is going to be a whole lot easier for them.
Look at that.
But obviously, if anything goes wrong, they are all custom parts now. Like I know that's one thing I've seen on the CGC games. You lift one of those playfield up, and it's almost like one huge custom PCB that is all the lighting on the game, and it's pretty incredible. But yeah, I can see the quality control from here. I don't know. I'm excited. I think there was somewhere on this they talked about the stream is still planning on late January, so you know, I had a pipe dream that I was hoping, Zach, you would get one for the Pinball Awards. I was hoping you'd get one of these in time or something, but that's probably not going to happen, being that that's a week away.
If anybody spooky is watching, all you got to do is get us one. We will stream one for the 27th, the day before, as George Fisher and Joel Engelberth are testing out the rig. We're gonna have a live stream the day before the Pinball Awards on the 27th, live from the Pin Barn at Flipping Out Pinball. So I'm hoping either that or honestly the 60th anniversary. I reached out to Stern, I'll be honest, and told them we'd love to stream the 60th anniversary for the 27th, or even leading into the Pinball Awards on the 28th itself. So
yeah,
I'm pushing to do everything. Oh my gosh! Before we leave, I got to tell some of these people some of the teases of the giveaways we're going to do for the Pinball Awards. But
hey, if you want to do it now, I mean, go for it.
Gosh. We've got so much. We've got so many people backing us for the Pinball Awards. Mark your calendars, January 28th. It may be a big mess, but it's going to be a big mess with a big pinball family together. Carl D'Angelo's IE Pinball gets 600,000. Might be lucky to get 60. And we're okay with that.
Yeah.
Because we're friends and we're all going to hang out and we're going to celebrate pinball. Those who create pinball, who design it, who code it, who do the music, who do the art. We want to celebrate those individuals, as well as the knuckleheads that do media for pinball. But you're going to be live. We're going to be live here on YouTube, I believe, and we're going to be doing some giveaways. So each and every year, we want to make an award show be a great representation for us in the community, and we want to give as much as we can over at the Pinball Network and Flipping Out Pinball. So we're going to be doing giveaways. Stern Pinball, they got our back. They're going to be giving away some stuff, including the Rush treasure chest.
Yep.
Oh my
God. Mike is peaked.
Stern Pinball,
Craig is
wonderful, magnificent people. You.
I heard you're only allowed to give that out to Canadians. That's a caveat there.
As long as I don't have to ship it.
Yeah.
But Stern Pinball, thank you so much. And that's not even the end of what they're giving. Stern Pinball is so kind to be supporting the Pinball Awards this year. They're going to be giving away more stuff. Not only that, Jersey Jack Pinball said, hell yes, sign us up. We love everything TPN and we love the Pinball Awards. We're going to be giving away not one, but 2 playfields. Playfields. What? We ain't dealing with no little trinket, no little playfields. The Toy Story playfield, a Guns N' Roses playfield. That's going to be unbelievable. Also, for the pinball, and you guys, all you got to do is watch the Pinball Awards live on the 28th, and it's not like you have to do your homework. You can win. It's going to be like a random thing. If you're there and you sign up, you can win. Look at that treasure chest, the Rush treasure chest.
Mike
God,
will.
blended,
Whoever
that
wins
thing is
it, Mike
awesome.
is ready to buy the hat off of you. Just
Yeah,
a heads up.
exactly.
I'll buy the hat.
Yeah,
I'll buy the hat.
he wants the hat
and the
so
shirt.
bad.
And the shirt.
Yeah.
Man. And courtesy of Flipping Out Pinball, I believe. Oh my! There's going to be so much cool stuff. I'm not even going to announce here that we're going to be giving away. I can guarantee you we'll be giving away shooter rods. I guarantee you we'll be giving away side art. Hell, we'll give away a topper. I'll give away a topper, whether it's a Turtles topper. Maybe I give a Deadpool topper away. I don't know. Maybe a Stranger Things topper. I could even give away some playfields myself or back glasses. I don't know if I can give that away. Maybe some custom back glasses.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun. We other manufacturers, we're waiting on them. We're in discussions with some giveaways there as well, and maybe some surprises, some industry surprises at the Pinball Awards, formerly the Pinball Industry Awards. So we're wanting to make it fun, and maybe next year we'll do it live in Chicago. We don't know what we're going to do. Maybe next year we burn it all to the ground and we don't do a damn thing. I don't know.
Well,
but it's nice to hear that the manufacturers have our back. And they really, really appreciate, they voice that they appreciate what the community, what all of us are doing to celebrate together.
I will say I'm part of that committee, so I've been able to kind of see this or experience this from the background, and to see the number of votes we got was awesome.
Yeah.
Seeing the results, like counting it and being a part of it, I'm very happy with, I'm excited for this show. I think it's going to be fun. And no knock on last year, but last year, just Godzilla was Godzilla, right? I mean, it's like, who won this? Godzilla. I mean, that's no fault to the award show, but I'm telling you, this will be a very entertaining and interesting award show because of what's going on, and we're gonna try to make it as fun as we can. As a committee, we talked about that. We're like, what are we doing? And I know Zach's incredibly good at making highly produced shows. And we
don't talk it up too much. I'm telling you.
But that's what I'm saying is we threw this out and we're like, what if we did it live? You have this amazing pin barn. Let's get some people there. Let's have a great time and let's just enjoy ourselves. And that's the goal. So I know, unfortunately, Mike and Craig over in Canada, getting you guys in was going to be a challenge. And Craig's dad, I think it's his 80th birthday, so you can't come. But it's going to be a fun time. Yeah.
Happy Bobby.
Damn you, Papa.
But it's going to be a really fun time. So we're not trying to hype it up too much, but it will be fun. I know I'm going to have a blast. I'm going to be there. Looking forward to it.
Even if it's a wreck, people are about to win stuff, so who cares, right?
Yeah, just show up and be ready to play. But
the awards are spectacular. The awards themselves, those crystal glass. I mean, there's nothing
Look,
like.
I got one right here. Look at this. It's a little dirty.
I think any industry would be jealous to have it. Look at that thing. Look at it.
The thing is freaking. Look at it.
The weight of it.
Yeah.
He's hurting his back holding the thing.
Well, I
Look,
think
this one says best shill.
I think Zach in the pinball show said, if you want to come, send an email to, what was it? What did you want? Send an email. It doesn't, or the pinballnetwork@gmail.com. Say why you want to come.
Gmail.com.
I don't know. He's like, sell it. Let's get you there.
Yeah. Why not?
I don't know. I can't wait.
Except unless you're a weirdo. Don't. If you're a weirdo, be self-aware enough to know you're a weirdo and don't come.
All right.
Enough weirdos I have to deal with.
So that's
the best part is Fathom was a game that you could vote on from day one.
Yes, it was. Fathom was included in our ballot. Yes, it was.
Yeah.
All right. So what else do we have?
I thought you guys were very generous in talking about that, by the way. I think if I'm going to be just
give
because
them the 60th anniversary treatment there, see, Bobby.
I was not I'm not associated with that, or I haven't been ever. I thought it was I'm trying to pick my words. I'm not trying to be too brutal about it, but I thought it was a sign as to how far down that award show has dropped. And I think it starts exactly where Zach took the right turn with the award itself. When you look at that thing, and I know, what are you gonna, you don't have to put everything into the award, but is that Twippy? I know what it represents, but if the thing stands this high, I've seen bowling trophies and my kid's friggin' soccer trophy that looks, in House League soccer that looks better than that thing. So I think the whole thing just sort of speaks to a lack of commitment to that award, frankly. And I know people have been working hard on it, but when you leave out a manufacturer who's been frankly manufacturing stuff for a couple of years now, I think that speaks to itself as to what the fuck is going on over there. That's my hot take on all that. You know,
I think
I
we
would
were
have
just
burned the whole
easy.
thing down. I'd be like, it's done. We're done. We're done. That's
We're
it.
easy with it just because I feel the pain of anybody that tries to put something together and
Well, I feel
and
for
makes a
them,
mistake. God, I
but I
just
don't
I
feel for
know
them
I'm gonna have a
at the same time.
freaking nip slip this year or something. So I don't want to jinx anything. So I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what? It's
but
fine.
yeah,
I'm not even.
we're
fuck.
rolling live. There's no way
Yeah.
it'll be perfect, but it'll be fun. But I get it. I mean, even what I've been involved in with the Pinball Awards, I feel for Will. I feel for Will. I think it was an honest mistake, but yeah, you'd hope with a committee, you would hope there would be a review process. We had multiple meetings, we had a lot of discussions, and hey, something may still slip through, even what we're all doing. So I don't know. I feel for him. I feel for Haggis that mistake was made, but we're just gonna have to see. So,
Miles Cameron in chat. New this year's
Look
the
at this
Pinball
thing.
Awards is the public does get to vote as well. So
Look at this
Have
thing.
to
Just like
vote next year.
over Albert said, look at this reach around award.
yeah, the reach around award is pretty
Doesn't
incredible.
anybody want this? Doesn't
Yeah.
everybody
I've
want
got
one of
mine
these
too.
things?
The public vote was really
I can't
cool.
even get it in front of the camera.
I will say I was involved in looking at the tallies, and the public vote was cool. And I don't want to go into too much detail, but like it's
that
not
is to be
throwaway.
treasured and handed down through the generations. That
yes.
is like, yes, that is what
The reach around award.
I mean. That is what I call an award, right there.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's do the only other thing that I wanted to discuss that is on Nap Arcade was once again unexpected company to remake one of the world's rarest games. I feel like Big Bang Bar has been talked about for a while about remade, but they're saying there's rumblings that some other company other than CGC might be remaking Big Bang Bar. I don't know. I just don't see the appeal. I thought the appeal of this game was the rarity of it, but to me, like, this is like, whatever. This didn't, like, Twilight Zone, boom, eyes wide open, like, okay, great. Like, this is a big deal. But I don't know. I don't know why so many people are.
Yeah, why do people love this game? Can someone tell me that? Why this game,
Because
besides
it's rare.
besides
honestly,
the rarity of it? Yeah, besides
that's
the
it.
rarity of it, is there anything else that's good about
Nope.
it?
I mean, if you look at the backstory to the game, it's an interesting backstory, but I mean, it really is only because of the rarity of the game and
Okay.
just the sort of the lore. It's really more about the lore of the game than the game
Okay.
itself. I don't know that the game is regarded as a great playing game by any means,
Okay.
but I also think that this has been rumored for years now. So I mean, people are just like, oh yeah, Big Bang Bar again. Okay, whatever is going to happen. I think wasn't it the same? Is it Circus Maximus or something? The company that
Kingpin?
was supposed to be doing Kingpin. They were
Yeah.
supposed to be doing this as well, weren't they? So I wonder if it is them and they're coming back out again. But we're also hearing Raw Thrills, and Raw Thrills does have a little bit of a connection to pinball in that the main
Josh.
guy in the IFPA, Josh Sharp, is he's an employee there. So credibility, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
It'd be interesting.
Zach, do you want to? Are you ready to place an order for a bunch of these to sell? I mean,
I'm with Mike. It gives me the same feeling as hearing about Kingpin being made. I'm like, all right, that's fine. Okay, cool.
so Albert there in chat, tons of cool mechs, awesome art, unique gameplay. I don't. Maybe I don't think I've seen one. I don't think I've seen one in person. Maybe it would blow me away. I don't know. It just
Penrex is right though. It is a little raunchy, a
yeah.
little risque.
To me,
have
there's of all the
The
games to
strippers, the
remake.
alien strippers
Yeah.
in it.
Little cage dancers in there.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's the thought. It's got to be easier to remake a unlicensed game, right? It's got to be
Ouch,
way
Chris
easier to.
DeWitt.
So, and some people said the same thing about Cactus Canyon, though. They're like, why do people like Cactus Canyon? It's because it's rare. But that game, I mean, that game's
Yeah,
selling
solid
well.
fun.
It's a fun
Solid
game.
fun.
So maybe that's the idea of, well, what unlicensed games are out there that if you're going to remake an unlicensed game, what's going to demand more or sell more? I don't know. Do you go this route or do you go for like high speed, you know, something.
High speed.
I'm just
Well, look
thinking
at
like
Twilight Zone. Talking about
that's
Twilight Zone, there
licensed.
was well, I mean, if not a license, but I'm talking in sheer numbers. There's 15,000 of them already made, right? So
yeah.
it's not a rare game by any means. So that's not the appeal for it, right? High speed, yes, that is unlicensed. A remake, would a remake for high speed do
I
as
don't
good
know.
as the other remakes? I don't know.
And
that might be only because I mean, it's not an expensive rare game, right? I mean, you can get one even here in Canada for like 6,000 Canadian. That's not, to buy a new one. I mean, you're not going to make. I don't know that they would make a remake on a game that's not at a premium price now in the secondary market. Why would you remake it and try and get, $3,000 more than what it's going for on the market used?
All right, well, let's look. So unlicensed games, right? So Medieval Madness already being remade. Attack from Mars already happened. Monster Bash.
Monster Bash is kind of a
it's already
licensed game, though, I would say.
Okay. Cactus Canyon already happened. Where are we at? What's the
Interesting how
next?
they go in order.
Tales? Is that the next unlicensed theme? Like, if does that make sense? Is that the
That
one
makes more
it is,
sense than
but-
that makes more sense than like a high speed or
I
something. I
could
think.
sell some totems.
Would you rather have Totem or Theater of Magic?
Theater Magic.
From a
Probably
sales standpoint.
Probably Totem from a sales point just because they go for more money. Theater Magic go for a couple thousand less than a Totem, so
I don't know. That to me is
And
if
that-
you're
Number 34 right there. That would be the best one
Circus
to do,
Voltaire?
in my opinion.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
see,
like
I
it
think
too. I
Circus
like
would
that
do
game.
worse than Totem and Theater.
Mm-hmm.
Whitewater.
But I own Circus. It's one of my favorites.
What about Whitewater?
Scared Stiff, I don't think would do that great.
Scared Stiff is licensed.
Whitewater, I
right?
think would do pretty good.
I mean, if
Whitewater
that
would
it
do
just
well.
to me, if I'm like, oh, if they're saying a different pinball manufacturer is gonna step in here and do a remake, I don't
think
want to.
Whitewater is here's a strong take for you guys. I think Whitewater would do better than Circus Voltaire. I don't know why.
I think it's just because there's more exposure to the game for people, and they know
Yeah, that's a good point.
they know
That's
the
a really
game.
good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
A
know.
lot of people haven't had any time on Circus Voltaire, right?
That's true.
They only
yeah.
know it as a rare, expensive game. So
Kinda like Big Bang Bard, though.
I just don't.
Yeah.
I just think there's. I think I would have picked all of those games, all three of those Papadook games, before I'd take Big Bang Bar, as if I was gonna bet my company on what remake should we do. But maybe I don't know. Maybe it's trying to get a hold of that or the right.
that's because those are proven games. Those are
Yeah.
proven, games. Big Bang Bar. I think there's only 23 of them or something like that in the wild. It's not a proven game, right? I mean, we don't
Capcom's
know.
play
if the
like
game,
a Data East too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't have that feel that Bally Williams feel.
I don't know. Well,
We really shook some people up tonight.
We had some strong takes. Yes, we had some
We did
strong
good.
takes tonight. I think. I mean, where we at? We're in a wait and see situation. Hopefully, we get some gameplay from Scooby Doo within the next few weeks. Hopefully, we get some gameplay with Bond 60th within the next few weeks.
Ooh, I can't wait for that.
It is January. We're in the middle of
I'm
January.
hearing Bond 60th is getting close to being on the line.
I hope we get we're due for some reveals here. If CGC has a licensed game, where's that at? American, hello, where's that at? So hopefully we see some stuff. Hopefully we see some stuff coming out here soon.
Yeah, you got a month and a half, maybe
and
and a half until maybe the next Cornerstone from Stern too in March.
Yeah.
Hopefully, right?
But well,
we're getting there.
March,
we're getting there.
Yeah, and I know it's going to be either Jack Danger and Tanyo, or it's going to be Dwight and Brian. So it's going to be one of those two. I don't know. We're just going to have to see. So, but yeah,
we're gonna have to what, Craig Bobby?
Yeah, it's perfect plug. Yeah.
Wait and see.
Yes.
There it is.
Well, let's go ahead and plug it up. Craig, you're welcome to go first.
Oh, I'm going to start it off since I'm talking already. All right. Well, my name is Craig Bobby, and of course I help out over on the Pinball Show with the Top Stories news segment that you can hear every Monday with Zach Meny and Dennis Kriesel. And we are, of course, proudly part of the Pinball Network. Want to give a quick little promo. I don't think she's going to mind me doing this. Hopefully I'm not going to get into trouble, but I'm going to give a quick little teaser here for another TPNer, and that is to Amanda Hamilton and Bill Webb's podcast, which is called the Free Play Pinball Podcast. And I had the pleasure of being a guest host on that podcast this week. So that episode will be dropping soon. And guess who our special guest was this particular episode?
Yeah, I know the answer.
It's a pinball designer.
Yeah.
Probably one of the most prolific and popular pinball designers in the hobby these days. And that is the one and only Mr. John Borg.
Whoa!
Was the special guest.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm excited for that. I'm excited for that podcast. I think that will be very well done.
Did you ask him where your Rush Premium is?
I did. That was one of the questions. That was one of the questions. What's going on with the Rushes? So yeah, we picked his brain about everything Rush and some of his other titles, some of his design philosophies. Such a nice guy, and was very open. Had a lot of great stories, as many of the designers do from their various histories. And anyway, I thought it was a really entertaining hour and change, and I encourage everyone to check that out when it gets released over the next probably in the next week. I would suspect that's going to come out.
Perfect. Sweet. And we do have a request from chat here. Sterling's wondering if you can do your Bond song there real quick.
Get editing, Amanda.
Yeah.
Oh, the Bond theme. Yes. Yeah. I'll do that
warm
at the end.
Warm up the tongue.
Oh, he's got to warm. He's got to warm up for it. That's great. All right, we'll keep going here.
TV.
Yeah, Zach, go for it, man.
Oh my god, I can't do it, Mom. No, I don't. Nicole.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I'm Zach Minnie. You got to listen to the Pinball Show, people.
Yeah,
where it's at on Pinball Podcasting. You got to watch these VODs. You got to watch these live things at Flip N Out Pinball. And when you want to see a sexy beast, it's either Joel Engelberth or it's Greg Bone over at Straight Down the Middle. So go check that out. You all can back off of Greg Bone's mom. She's all mine.
Yeah.
I want to thank everybody in chat that's here to support us. Extra brownie points for those in chat that are Flipping Out Pinball customers. Thank you so much. Without you, there wouldn't be anything that I'm doing, because the support is unbelievably helpful. And also, hopefully, as we're doing these big discussions and these debates and stuff live on stream here, I want people to remember that what I'm trying to do, I'm not trying to upset people, and I hope it comes across that I love pinball more than anybody could ever know, and I want nothing more for it to grow. And sometimes I feel like if things are a little bit stagnant, things need to be shaken up a little bit so that they can be discussed in different viewpoints. So hopefully you all understood where I'm coming from, and maybe, just maybe, either one or two ideas that I have every once in a while might make a little bit of sense if we allow them to. That's all. Or maybe I'm just a freaking idiot. Bye. Thanks, Joel.
Yes. No. Thank you, Zach. Thank you, Zach, for letting me stream on this channel. Yeah. Mike, go for it, man.
You can catch us on Pinballers, twitch.tv/pinballers. Streaming, we don't really have a schedule anymore, but you can check us out on.
It's always good.
You can check us out on Facebook, Pinballers, Pinball and Retro Streams, Instagram at Pinballers TTV. We are, a little plug for ourselves, we are hoping to stream the Ontario Provincial Championships this weekend on our channel, Saturday at noon Eastern Time on Pinballers, provided the internet is suitable enough for us to do so. So check out that stream. You'll see some of the best players in Ontario, including TPN's own myself, Carter. Jeff Teolis will be there as well, competing, and
Nice.
some other great players in Ontario as well. So check that out if you can. Otherwise, if the internet's not good enough, I'm going to record it locally and we'll pop it up on YouTube for you guys to check out as well.
Perfect. Yeah, and I'm Joel Engelberth. This has been the Flippin' Out stream every Wednesday from 10 to midnight. Please come join the chat. I apologize. The chat was moving quick. Tonight. We had a lot of people here. It was awesome. So I try to read and stay on top of every comment and try to keep the conversation going as best we can. But if you're seeing this after the fact on YouTube, yeah, please join the chat live. It's a good time. Otherwise, any comment that you put, I try to read those and stay on top of those as well. Appreciate you, Zach. Appreciate you, Zach, for letting me borrow these games and let me stream here on the Flip N Out channel.
Let's get you a 60th anniversary. You want to?
I'm in.
Let's do it.
That would be great. And Craig and
Mike.
Mike.
I'm going to play it.
Yeah.
That's not going to play it.
Craig and Mike, appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys for being here tonight. But yeah, thanks for
Joel.
everybody that was here. I love this. This is only the third week of streaming on YouTube. And I love that the people are here.
We're
and
killing
Hit the
it.
follow.
Yes.
People.
Yeah,
follow,
smash that like
subscribe,
button.
it's free.
Smash that like button.
Smash
Hit
that
the-
subscribe
hit
button. And
sub,
click the
all those
bell.
yes.
Click the bell.
Why wouldn't
All right.
you? Do it.
Well, there's only one way we can end this stream.
Lazy.
And Craig, you gotta take us out, man. Oh,
Oh,
so satisfying.
See my wife upstairs right now.
Yeah.
I'm
Man, I
exhausted.
feel good. Feeling good now.
Yeah.
Need a cigarette.
All right. Perfect. All right. We'll see you
I
guys
didn't even
later.
have it on turbo there. It wasn't even on turbo.
Oh, turbo. We need to wait for that. All right.
Oh,
Have a great
my
night,
word.
chat. See you guys.
Bye, guys.